Bro, it's 4 something in the morning. That's called dedication. Now, these are some tools that are necessary, especially if you're gonna be playing sports and you need active warm-ups. One of them is these like slant board blocks. Good for calves, good for stretching. If you don't stretch, think of it like a cold rubber band, right? Straight out the package. If you try to stretch it out all the way, as soon as you take it out the package, it's gonna snap, right? What happens after you use that band a few times, over time it warms up, it can stretch further, it has more use. If you overstretch, obviously you know what happens. But better to be warmed up so you can actually use your tendons, muscles, ligaments, all that. For most of your muscles, you want an active warm-up, not a static stretch. It'll serve you well. Don't mind my forehead, bro. I got sunburnt on my vacation. And this goes double for if you've had like a ligament or tendon injury. Bro, always stretch. I've always stretched. It was just a freak accident for mine, but stretching is gonna help you a lot. And if you feel your calf stretch more in your ankle, nothing wrong with that. It means you got tight ankles. Find that angle where you can feel your soleus is that lower part of your calf where your Achilles houses into, and then you have your gastrocnemius, the meaty part of the calf. Both need to be stretched, bro. They're two separate muscles. They do flow into each other, but they're separate muscles. And if you've had the Achilles tear, you're gonna, for a hot minute, you're gonna feel your stretch more in your ankle. Put these away, these are gonna be used for calves. Another tool that can be used is this band here. It's just a loop style band. It's the lightest one, especially for basketball. That's why I coach and train for basketball, bro. All athletes, really, you need this. Band pull aparts are great for your scapular retraction, so you don't have shoulder blade issues, shoulders in general. You can't play basketball, really any sport, you can't play and have a shoulder issue. Do these till your shoulders start to burn. It's a great warm up. And then another thing is these, right? Keep your arms straight and stiff, enough tension on where your shoulders are working. You wanna make sure to work that rotator cuff, because if that's not warm, bro, you can tear your labrum, rotator cuff injury. You're gonna feel that so much later in life. Another one, slept on jump rope, warms up the entire body, especially the calves. Me personally, I like to go for about 5 minutes straight. I used to do like 7 to 10, but ankle endurance after that Achilles of just pogo hopping like this, it's gone down. But it's a slept on exercise because it helps. It's like doing your pogo hops for your vertical. It warms up your ankles, your legs, warms up your shoulders and arms. It's great cardio. 10 minutes of jump roping burns the same calories as like 30 minutes walking, correct me if I'm wrong. Box squats, half squats, bench squats, whatever you want to call them, however you do them, slept on for your vertical, right? Because when you come down and jump, you swing around, you're gonna be at a half squat, you're gonna pop up from there. So I like to do a slow eccentric, explode up, lighter weight because you're already gonna be jumping with your body weight. You just need that extra resistance to kind of push up against. I don't like to do like super heavy box squats. I like to go like function over ego. Myself personally, I like to add a explosive calf raise at the end, kind of simulate that jumping. But a problem I have with a lot of coaches and trainers is they train you in weights for size solely instead of function. As a hooper, whether you're self-taught or you're working with a trainer or a coach, in the gym, you should prioritize your function over size. The fitness will come with training like an athlete. You're not a bodybuilder. Stop trying to lift for super hypertrophy, trying to look like Sam Sulek, okay? First of all, he's on steroids. Second of all, that's not good for basketball, right? You see how Cash Nasty plays basketball. Not a shot at Cash, but it's the first example I can come up with. If you're too big, you will not move like a hooper. You will not perform like a hooper. You won't be a hooper, right? I'm not huge. I have a little size on me. I'm not huge. All the NBA players, they look big, but you have to remember their height as well. They're like 6'5" and above. So they're gonna look beefier, but they just have lower body fat. Lower body fat will make you look bigger because your muscles are more pronounced, but you're technically smaller. But when it comes to lifting weights in a sport, you need to make sure you're training for function, right? So movements that make sense. Most important item when it comes to training as well as an athlete, recovery, recovery, recovery. You will never be successful if you push yourself too hard too many times in the week. Because remember, you're an athlete, you're gonna have practices for your sport, you're gonna have conditioning, you're gonna have games you gotta play. The gym is only one small portion. You have to make sure that you're getting gym time that makes sense. That's why I get up at 4 in the morning, I work out before work, I'll do some editing, film analysis on my lunch break. After work, I'm playing games. You need at least a 6-hour break in between heavy-ish or like intense lifting and your like cardio or playing a body intense sport. If you don't recover, you're gonna end up like with major injuries, right? Now these, you should not be going max weight on any leg exercise unless you're training for strength. You should be going at least 1 rep max, like 50 to 80%. That's if you're going hypertrophy. If you're not training hypertrophy, you should be going for like, bro, just go for whatever feels best for you, but challenges you. Now, I usually don't do my leg exercise with the shoes on because usually shoes are unstable, but bricks have a pretty good solid base. So we're gonna do some Bulgarian split squat jumps. But instead of going all the way down like most people do, I stop here. So it's like a 3/4 hop. We're going 5 each side. And rock back and pop up. And the reason I'm doing them like that is kind of like when you do hand release push-ups, right? You push up, you let go, you're using your full strength again. You're not full tension with the ground the entire time. It's half the time when you're jumping, it's a quick pop, right? So we're gonna do those. I like do 10 just to finish off upper body on machines. We're gonna do backwards walking on the treadmill. Now, for those of you who don't like to lift weights, use your body weight, get a weight vest. But if you're trying to make it to the next level, you need to lift something, bruh. You will never make it to the next level if you are not strong enough. You could be skilled as all get out, but if you're not strong enough, not big enough, bro, like forget height. There's a lot of college players that I know that they're like 6 foot even. Like I'm 6 foot. It's short for basketball. Like for basketball, I am short. To the average citizen in any country, 6 foot is tall. But for basketball, I'm short. So I always have to make sure that like my strength and conditioning is on par, because every time I go play against like higher level players. I played against some D1, D2 guys here recently before I went on my vacation. Bro, they know how to use their body. I know how to use my body too, but when you're just physically bigger and stronger, it doesn't matter. So you have to be able to compete with that. And it's difficult if you don't know what you're doing. So upper body strength is gonna be important when you have to do those bumps, going through the lane. Also holding on to the ball when it coming through the lane, it's very important, and also dribbling, you know, but you get a weighted ball for that. Legs, obviously important because you're moving through the court in basketball. Your core is another slept on one. Slight core today, I already did it yesterday, but we're gonna do some slight cordyceps, what the heck? Some slight core stuff today on the decline sit-up bench, just because you want that full range of motion, you want that full stretch in your core, and then contracting all the way. So you get that full function. Your abs are a muscle, your core is a group of muscles. Train them like any group of muscles. Train them the exact same way. They're smaller so they can recover faster. So you can technically work abs every day. That is way too light. And again, we're not going to failure. We're working on function. Love an empty gym. So we're gonna do these. I did a lot of upper body yesterday, so that's why you only see me do like 2 sets. So I'm just gonna do some decline abs, backwards on the treadmill on an incline. Call it a day. Go shower, make my creatine, get some protein and some breakfast, and then I'm good. Usually I do this with weight. It's too early. I did not warm up my abs. When it comes to abs, if you're going for hypertrophy, like ab building, like you wanna make sure they pop even if you have body fat or not, work them like every other muscle. We'll go at about like a 2-5 or a 3. Incline, we'll test it out. I usually do a 5. Yeah, I'll do a 5. We'll spin around and walk backwards. Now this helps with your knee function, especially if you've ever been injured. Your knee function will improve walking backwards on the treadmill. I'm gonna get my creatine in, my breakfast, going to work, maybe hoop in the afternoon. I don't know, maybe with my nephew. See ya.